Alright YouTube, hello, thank you for watching. Today I'm doing a piperine crystallization. I've done several videos on piperine here as a learning experience. Piperine is an alkaloid amide that's contained in black pepper and also white pepper as well. Along with the piperine in this, you will also have something called chavasine. Chavasine is one of the 4 geometric isomers of piperine, which means that the chavasine has the same chemical formula as piperine, but it has a different chemical structure to it. It's responsible for the piercing kind of odor of pepper. The solubility of piperine in water is very, very low. It's only about 40 milligrams per liter. The solubility of chavasine, the isomer, is only about 10.6 milligrams per liter. As far as using an extraction solvent for this, I have used both ethanol and IPA. Actually, I kind of prefer the IPA a little bit more. The solubility of piperine is slightly better in IPA than it is in ethanol. Now, the interesting thing about this chavasine, other than it kind of being a nuisance, is it has a very unusual melting point. It melts at 77 degrees Fahrenheit or 25 degrees C approximately. So I just wanted to let this set in the sun to see what it does, because the last time I did a crystallization and it was in the sun for a while, something very, very unusual happened to it. Piperine itself melts at 266 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I bought some of this just because I've done so many piperine extractions. It's kind of helpful to know about what you should be coming up with. And of course I can't duplicate this level of purity, but I was just kind of curious to see what the color of it is. It's an off-white. I would say probably very, very light tan. It has a kind of really pleasing odor to it. It doesn't smell like pepper. It doesn't exactly smell sweet, but at the same time it in no way, shape, or form smells bitter. Actually smells pretty good. You can buy this online. It is rather expensive, but then again everything is. It's used as a basically a supplement. I think there's a lot of research going into piperine now as far as using it for health or medicinal purposes. It's a super interesting chemical for sure. This is my extraction. More than often, what I end up with is this brown stuff. I think on 2 occasions I got something that was yellow. One time it was yellow gold, and the other time it was bright yellow. There's definitely a science to this, and I just haven't figured it out yet. I think the chavasine may be a factor in that, but you know, I haven't been able to prove it just yet. 17 grams. Now this extraction was done in hand sanitizer grade ethanol. It's the first time I've ever used that. I'm going to use a little bit of acetone to crystallize this out in. It's got a pretty unusual smell. I can smell it 2 feet away from it. So use this 5 milliliter pipette here. That was 10 milliliters of acetone. There's 15 milliliters. But it's definitely at the boiling point of acetone, just 56C. Then we'll just cover that up and let it gradually cool down. The slower it cools down, the better you are. So you don't want to plunge it into a low temperature right away. You know, sometimes when you do this stuff, you end up with something that you completely did not want. you end up with this brown shit. Sometimes that's what happens. You know, I've had huge crystals in there already, but obviously not on this extraction. And it's kind of weird too, because this is like number 5 or number 6 I've done here. The weird thing is there's no common denominator for this result. I've kept pretty good notes on this throughout all these extractions. And you know, there was a point in time where I was ready to say, well, when I use the IPA, I get something that's yellow. But then something came along and threw that one out. So it has nothing to do with the solvent. Whether or not you get this brown all depends what you get going into the funnel filter. I can tell you that 100%. The crystallization has nothing to do with the color here. It basically lies somewhere in the amount of time where the piperine is dropped out of solution. There was probably like 2 or 3 milliliters of solvent in there that was completely dark brown. So I just decanted it out. I'm really not happy with this one. That's pretty ugly. I really think this has something to do with the chavasine, but I just can't prove it. So this is after hitting it with about 15 milliliters of acetone and decanting it. It washes the brown out, but unfortunately it takes everything else with it. It's not nearly as bad as what it was. There's still a good bit of acetone in there that needs to evaporate. Yep, I just do not know what that brown stuff is, but boy, it's a real nuisance. Sometimes you just don't get what you want. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Take care and have a great day.